Hello again, everyone. Back we are again at Fred DeLay Gymnasium, David Blackstock Court in Jackson, Tennessee, on the campus of Union University. And in this number 3 matchup in the quarterfinals of the NCAA Division II Women's South Regionals, it is the host, Union University Lady Bulldogs, taking on Savannah State's Tigers from Savannah, Georgia, in a beautiful city Savannah indeed is. Let's give you the starting lineups for these two teams. First off, for Savannah State, Mia Goolsby. She is a 5'2 junior from Greenville, South Carolina. Leandra Gillis. She is a 5'10 redshirt junior from Adrian, Georgia. Tequila Austin. She is a 5'7 senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Bria Gibbs, the 6' junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, and Taquasia Lampkin. She is a 6' freshman from Beaufort, South Carolina, just across the line from Savannah. For the number 1 team in the nation, the Union Lady Bulldogs, in the top seed in this regional. They'll be led by Shanique Lucas, averaging 11.4 a game. She's the young lady from Thailand. Ashton Baker. She's the graduate transfer from Liberty. 11 points a game and 92 assists on the season. Jalencia Williams, the player of the year, not only in the Gulf South Conference, but in the South region. Jalencia on the season, 16.3 points per game, 9 rebounds a game, and listen at this, blocked shots, 71. Bethany Dillard. She goes at one of the wing guards. She's 9.3 per game. And Emily Dunnigan, averaging 9 a game, and she is one of these that can just eat your lights out at the free throw line, 89% free throw shooter. Those are your starters for tonight's game. Union comes in 26-2 on a 23-game winning streak. The Lady Bulldogs were undefeated in Gulf South Conference play this year, 18-0. Savannah State, 27-2, 14-1 in the SIAC, and that's a team that they lost in the championship game to Benedict, but I got news for you. They're coming in here with house money and a belief that they can pull the upset and knock off the nation's number 1 team, and if you look at the stats between these two teams, they're very capable of doing that. Savannah State is averaging on the season 81 points a game. They're one of the top offensive teams. In fact, as far as average points per game, the top one in this tournament. Union averages 73 a game. The key, both teams strong defensively. Union has held its opponents to 58 per game, and Savannah State has held its to 61. Union comes in with a 47% field goal average, and Savannah State 45. A big key, though, if you look across the board, is crashing the glass. Savannah State averaging 44 rebounds a game to 34 for Union. And there you see some of the partisans who have begun to make their way into Fred DeLay Gymnasium. This is definitely going to be a partisan crowd tonight because you've got the fans from both the university and from the community here in Jackson. And here we are on an evening that a lot of the young ladies who are here from the Florida or school like Savannah State may be waking up tomorrow to something they don't see that often, and that is snow, because it is in the forecast. It's expected to come down overnight, and we are under a winter weather advisory in Jackson, Tennessee. So there you go, and you'll be entertained by the music of Mike Mann and his band in the stands. You just saw them for a moment. And Mark Campbell is the head coach of the Lady Bulldogs in his 23rd season, has had an amazing run, more than 600 victories. And for Savannah State, their head coach, an alumnus from Voorhees College, and that is Cedric Baker. So we're about set to go with it. Let's go down and see the starters as they are introduced. Starters, and in games already today in the opener, Lee University from Cleveland, Tennessee defeated Benedict 87-77. Valdosta State in the game just before this one knocked off Tampa 59-50. So 2 of the 3 Gulf South Conference entries have advanced to tomorrow's semifinals. They'll be playing each other, Lee against Valdosta State, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. This one, Union from the Gulf South, Savannah State from the SIAC. If the Lady Bulldogs win, they will take on the winner of the nightcap, which will be between Florida Southern and Eckerd, both from the Sunshine State Conference. To jump it, it will be Lampkin against Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to discuss something. Oh, somebody had a watch on. Yeah, don't throw the watch down. So now, ladies and gentlemen, as we wait at last on the tip, let the games begin, and the Lady Bulldogs with it. And this place is probably going to be loud through a lot of this game. Baker, the extraordinarily tough addition to this team, playing in a graduate year for Union after 4 years at Liberty University. Union with less than 10 on the shot clock. Savannah State, tight man-to-man defense. Lucas may have to do this one herself, and she does with a left-hand layup, and she does, right down to the final second. Shanique Lucas with the first basket of the game. Savannah State on the season, 45% from the floor, 34% in three-pointers. Working against Williams, and Williams, that's what you call a bother rather than a block. Back for the three. Nope, not there. And the rebound, Emily Dunnigan. Baker, the Flash as she's known, is on the bicycle. Open is Bethany Dillard. Short. And the rebound comes off to Lampkin. This Savannah State team is full of confidence. They are brimming with energy here today, and they truly believe, despite being in a hostile environment, that they can knock off this extraordinarily tough Union team. Chance of defense all across the house. Big long three. Yes! Right off the bat, Austin with the three to make it a 3-2 lead for Savannah State. And a steal. That was no authority on that pass, and taking it all the way down and losing control at the last minute. Gibbs had it slapped away by Lucas. Smart defensive move because she avoided committing a personal foul. And let's see how Coach Baker plays it. Outside shot, big bomb. Terrific by Goolsby to make it a 6-2 lead for Savannah State. So the nation's number one team has been hit by some bombshells here to start. Baker with it with 13 on the shot clock. Union with strong three-point shooters, but Lucas is going to take it down the lane and got the layup. She is so deceptive, but she can move either to her left or to her right and oftentimes succeed. This is Goolsby, such a terrific ball handler she is. Austin can do things without the basketball as well as with. 10 on the shot clock. Iron unkind, and the rebound comes off to Dunnigan. The fast feet of Baker. We've seen this all season long in the Gulf South Conference. She's a second-team Gulf South Conference selection. They go inside. That's Union's bread and butter to Jalencia Williams, Gulf South Player of the Year. And we're tied at 6. That is Mark Campbell basketball. That's the textbook. They go on the inside to work against Williams, and it's in and out by Gibbs. And Union trying to capitalize. So many coaches will say if you get one-shot possessions and you don't get it, it's the equivalent of a turnover. Going with the left hand that time, and it is there for Lucas. That's what I told you. She can go left or right. She's as efficient with the left hand as she is with the right, and Union retakes the lead with 6 unanswered points. And again, only one team will advance from this to the NCAA Women's Division II Elite 8. Off the mark. And let's see who they give it to. Give it back to Savannah State with a new 20 on the clock. The one who makes it all the way to championship Monday and ends up with a victory will advance on to the top 8 in the country next week. I should say week after next. Look at Dunnigan working off the screen. And high bank shot goes through. Nicely navigated home by Austin, who has 5. Union, winners of the Gulf South Conference regular season and tournament championship, defeated Lee 58-44 last Sunday. Long 3 off the back of the iron for Dunnigan. Tigers, very fast team. They think very well on the court. Almost stolen by Lucas. And that one just went nowhere. Gillis was bothered from behind, and Union picks up the turnover, the first one for Savannah State. Almost stolen away from Lucas. Baker is so efficient with the basketball. Goes for the 3. Yes! Baker gives Union the 10-8 lead. Big student body here supporting the Lady Bulldogs this afternoon. Tipped away by Lucas, but recovered very quickly. Big 3. No, just off the back of the iron for Lampkin, and here comes Baker, who has a lot of rebounds, and she kicks it in to Williams, and yes. Union 6 out of 8 from the floor. That's the patience of Jalencia Williams to ward off those defenders. This Goolsby, I was told beforehand, watch her because she is such an intense ball handler, and she's a great quarterback on this club. Working against Williams and trying to draw the foul, and Williams with her 72nd block of the season, and timeout is called with 3:52 remaining in the first quarter. Union leads Savannah State 13-8, and you're watching the Women's Division II South Regionals.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Coach Baker trying to get some energy in his Savannah State team after they took the early lead 6-2 and they're down 13-8. That's Mike Mann and his band in the stands. They're regarded as one of the finest pep bands in the Gulf South Conference, and they can get a crowd on fire. And Coach Baker's job here is to try to tell his players, look, you got everything on paper and everything as far as the crowd is concerned not in your favor. You know what you can do as a team. You've only lost twice this season. You know how to handle this. And Coach Baker is regarded as one of the outstanding coaches in the entire Division II. I'm a former resident of Savannah, Georgia. Lived there in 1983 and 84 when I was in television news at WSAV. Savannah, about 105 miles from where I grew up in Waycross, Georgia. And here go the Lady Bulldogs. Up 5. Samaria Thompson has checked in for Union, and it is Baker. Down the lane she goes. The flash, that's what she is so deceptive about, is that she can just fly by defenders. And Union with a 15-8 lead. Winner will meet either Florida Southern or Eckerd tomorrow. Nice jumper from about 14 feet. Bulldogs on top by 5. Leah Cauble into the game. Mark Campbell will shuttle in a lot of his bench during each quarter because he's trying to conserve as much energy as they go down the lane toward Friday night. And there you go. Samaria Thompson, who's been a tremendous force off the bench for this Lady Bulldog team since January. And they double team, and from outside, terrific three by Gillis with 2 players on her. So Leandra Gillis, the leading scorer for this Tiger team, averaging 14 a game, has brought them to within 4. This is a much higher scoring game than some that we've had, and oh my goodness, Williams goes to the floor and the foul. Union will play it underneath. Jalencia Williams can often take a beating in these games. The foul is charged to Goolsby. But every time she hits the floor, the locals in Jackson, Tennessee, their breaths are collectively held. So Thompson will toss it in for the Lady Bulldogs. Williams way out front. She's not going to shoot from out there, I can tell you. Thompson curls that left-hand layup in. Union 9 of 11 for 82% from the floor. Mark Campbell says that the key to this team is getting out to a hot early start and a lead. Working against Williams, it is Gibbs. And her fall away is off, and Dunnigan the rebound. This team loves to push the ball up the floor, and they do so quite frequently. Trying to work off the ball screen. 12 on the shot clock. Dunnigan and Thompson. They're going to have to hurry. Big three for Dunnigan off the back of the iron. Tigers trying to get it from the back of the left-hand side of the arc, and it goes off the fingertips of Baker. So Tigers will play it. Shanique Lucas will check back in for Union with 86 seconds remaining in the first quarter. During the season, Union has been a very strong second and third quarter team. And took the step before she dribbled, and I think Gillis knew it. She was trying to execute a fake and just took that one step with her left foot. Steve Beverly bringing you the action from Jackson, Tennessee, live. This is for all the marbles in the quarterfinals, and the bounce pass underneath, and that was a desperation layup on the part of Lucas, but she is fouled by Goolsby, and that is her second. Union has gone through the entire first quarter to this point without committing a personal foul. Goolsby will check out of the game. Actually, that is not Goolsby who checked out. It was Gillis. And Lucas is a 86% free throw shooter. It is uncommon for her to miss the front end of a two-shot opportunity. Nails the second one. Lady Bulldogs by 7, and they're going to employ a half-court trap, trying to keep Savannah State rattled a bit and not have as much time to set up their offense. They get it across in 7 seconds. She's going to work against Williams again and got the left-hand hook, and it did not fall. Gibbs has had a hard time connecting. She hasn't scored yet. Lucas with it. And she got that bread and butter pass to Williams, who just knocks off the defenders and can't get it to go. Had 2 opportunities. She was too far underneath. She couldn't get the bank. That sometimes is something that throttles Jalencia. And Union picks it up as Williams gets the steal, and Baker loses it right back. And the floater is not there. This time it is Baker with the rebound. And Union will go for the final shot of the quarter. Lady Bulldogs long a powerhouse in national basketball circles. Mark Campbell won 5 national championships in NAI, and Baker cannot connect the layup on the give and go. They're going to have to throw up a big one. And the question is, did they call a foul? Yes, they did. And you can hear the Boo Birds erupt. That's going to be called on Lucas. The question is there a 1/10 or 2/10 of a second left on the clock? And so the officials are going to discuss this, and they're going to come over and take a look and see if there was any time left on the clock at the time the foul was called. And it appears they are going to rule that it is, but they are going to look at the replay first. It'll be Lee and Valdosta State tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock live on our NCAA Division II network. We invite you to join us because that's going to be 2 rivals going against each other, same conference, with a chance to go to the championship game on Monday night. And so they're going to bring it over to the side, and again the question mark is going to be both officials are looking at the replay to determine. And the key thing that Coach Baker is doing is using this as the equivalent of a timeout. Is there a possibility that he could fire in something for a volleyball tip, because probably you're going to see less than 1 second put back on the clock if indeed that foul holds up. Potentially you would go to an outside shooter in a case like this because you're going to be playing it on the side significantly back. But that foul was charged to Shanique Lucas. She was trying to get a steal away there at the end. And so they're saying, okay, no more timeout period here. It wasn't charged to anyone, but both coaches used it as the equivalent. So there's going to be 1.9 seconds. There is enough time to get it in and get a shot off. So it'll be Howard that will toss it in. She's from Atlanta, 5'10" junior. They got to hurry to get it in. And off the back of the iron, Hurd tried to make it fall, gave it a good run for a rushed shot. But your first quarter is over, and with Union on top, 20-13, we'll have the second quarter in a moment, right after we remind you you are watching the NCAA Women's Division II South Regionals.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
I've known Mark Campbell for 29 years. I called his games when he was a senior at Lipscomb University. And I've been familiar with Savannah State's program since the beginning of women's basketball there back in the 70s. And I absolutely know what this Savannah State team is up against, but also what they feel perfectly capable of doing despite being down 20-13 at the end of the first quarter. This team is coming in trying to play its own disciplined basketball. They would like to challenge Jalencia Williams and potentially get her in foul trouble. That has not happened. Union has only committed one personal foul in the first quarter. The Tigers will get the ball to start the second period, and here we go. Again, they stay very disciplined, trying not to get outside of their offense. Thompson knocks it out of bounds, and so it's still Tiger ball. Mark Campbell has no hesitation to bring in Keely Robinson off the bench, which she is there to spell Williams, but that's when she usually spells her. Big three from the corner. It is there. They are popping some threes this afternoon, and that is Goolsby with her second. They are 4 out of 8 for 50%. Dangerous pass. Thompson thought about the three. This time they kick it out to Dillard. No, too much on it. And they kick it out, and it's going to go back to Union. That was good aggressive play by Howard trying to go after that rebound, but just managed to tip it out of bounds. And so Thompson will have it again. Union has been a team that has been noted for its outside shooting, but they've had dominant post players, and particularly this year with Williams. But Robinson, who is her usual backup, has an outstanding repertoire of her own, and it is Lampkin that is charged for her first foul. We played that first quarter in a period of about 19 minutes. It just flew by. Lucas is she is a traffic cop out there, and so is Baker. They both have an ability to do so many things to get their team. And that one was kicked off, trying to get it out in the corner to Dillard, and Union gets it back, but the foul is going to be charged. That foul is charged on Keely Robinson, trying to get the second steal out of it. Baker's going to check out and get a bit of rest. Robinson comes back out, and Williams back in. And let's see how Coach Baker plays it. They're going to try to work up against Dunnigan, and they do. Austin has 9 points to lead everyone in the game. Union is led by Lucas with 7. So Union's 7-point lead that started the quarter has been sliced to 2. They've somewhat taken the crowd out of it. And that's what you want to do. They tried to go, and Lucas didn't lob it high enough for Williams, and the steal is there. And going all the way down for the floater, it is not there, but the follow shot, it doesn't fall. And here goes Union with numbers. They got 3-on-2, and Thompson may go all the way, and she's fouled. That young lady will take some spills, but she is resilient. And the foul is charged to Howard. That is her first. So Samaria Thompson goes to the line for 2. Baker's going to come right back in shortly. Thompson is a very efficient free throw shooter and got the friendly roll. On the season, Samaria is a 76% shooter. Good arm extension that she has, and gives Union the lead at 22-18. She comes out, Baker back in. Baker had about 30 seconds to grab a swig of water. Mark Campbell has all of his starters back in there. Union not going to the half-court trap at this stage. As Mark Campbell says and has told his team many times, it doesn't matter who you're playing or where they're seated. It's going to be a war. When you get to this time of the season, it's there, and the foul for Howard. She was falling away. The foul is charged to Emily Dunnigan. So a chance for a three-point play to cut this down to 1, and so Union has just seen how absolutely resilient this Savannah State team is, down 20-13. Got the three-point play. Union throws a lot of cross-court passes. Sometimes they are mind-numbing when they do it for their local fans. But Mark Campbell puts a premium on crisp passing. Working off the screen as Baker stops and pops, and it's off to the right. And the rebound coming off to Lampkin. Chance for Savannah State to take the lead. Instead, it is Baker with the steal. Baker with her 52nd steal of the season, and they throw it right back away. And Savannah State has numbers. And it is stolen right back. We got the Keystone Cops going here now. 3 possessions between the two teams and 3 turnovers. Union's given it up 4 times, and so has Savannah State. Inside to Williams to work against Lampkin. 10 on the shot clock. Williams is going to take it herself. Spin move. That's how she does it. 6.5 to go. Union reclaims it 24-21. That's the way Williams is so dominant. Trying for the 3 and almost getting the bounce and the scramble. That's going to be a foul on Union. And that one is charged to Ashton Baker. Union's committed 3 fouls in this quarter, 2 for Savannah State. So Tigers will play it underneath. And they're working against Baker. That was a height disadvantage, but the shot was short by Hurd. This Union team is so lightning quick. That's what I'm talking about, one of those cross-court passes. And the jumper is there. Lucas with 9. She's 4 for 4 from the field. And it's a 26-21 Union lead. And Williams comes up to pick up her foe, and it goes astray. They were robbed on that one. Dillard thought about driving in. She can go in and hit about a 12-foot shot, and it's kicked off of the foot of Lampkin. And we got the Florida Southern team that's coming in to our area to get a scout of their potential opponent for tomorrow night if they win tonight. Underneath. Baker could not get the layup, but she follows up and gets it. That's one of the things she does so well. She never loses concentration on the ball. And Union back to the 7-point lead at 28-21. Place is getting loud again. Williams is just letting no one get down the lane. Here's a nope. They're going to say, is it a jump ball? And the alternate possession will go back to Union. Had that not been a jump ball, it would more than likely have been a goodbye two all the way down the floor. And that's the 5th turnover for Savannah State, and with 4:57 to go, Union leads Savannah State 28-21. And we'll be back after we remind you you are watching the NCAA Women's Division II South Regionals.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Well, you got an interesting picture there. I'm not sure where that young lady got the staff, but she brought it down out of the top of the bleachers. Union leads Savannah State 28-21 with 6 unanswered points, and we'll have the ball when we resume. But I am really impressed with the way Coach Baker keeps a cool in his team. Union may have gotten 6 in a row there, but he waited until the media timeout, and both coaches have their full complement of timeouts in this game. Lady Bulldogs will play it underneath their own basket. And you have Dillard and Thompson leading the way. They're going to lob it into Williams. That's the way she does it. Another assist for Baker, and Williams has 8. Baker already with 2 assists in the game. Almost knocked away by Baker. Almost again. They are really hemmed up in the paint. 12 on the shot clock, going for the 3. And did not get the Plinko drop, and Baker the rebound. That's her 5th. There to go to Williams again. Fends off the defender. The bread and butter tastes like jam, and jelly is on top of it for Union fans. It's 32-21. They were open on the inside, and underneath, the foul is going to be called. It looks as though it's going to be on Dillard. So this will be a 2-shot opportunity for Savannah State. They've connected on the only one they have had so far in the game. Williams, the game-leading scorer, with 10. Lucas has 9. On the other hand, Austin is the leader for Savannah State with 9. Each team has had 4 players to get into the scoring column. And this is Hurd trying to make it the 5th one. And she does. This team is a 66% shooting free throw team, but you throw all that out when you get to tournament time. And she got the friendly spin. You just absolutely throw that out when you get to tournament time. 3 minutes, 57 seconds to go, and timeout is called by Cedric Baker, so we will take one. Union leads Savannah State 32-23 at the Women's Division II NCAA South Regionals.
Leaders Become Leaders is an NCAA Teamworks program which was created to support and help elementary school children get excited about reading.
I am a reader.
Readers Become Leaders partners selected school districts from across the country with NCAA student athletes, coaches, and local organizing committees to encourage our children to read through fun competitions, field trips, and prizes.
The power of reading is so important. In order for these kids to have a strong chance, the best chance they can of being successful, they need to be really good readers.
A key element to ensure that a child is prepared to maximize their educational opportunities is to take the time to read to them.
Union leading by 9. Don't let anybody tell you that Division II women's basketball isn't as good as it gets, because it is. And there's Lucas. Oh, that was some miscommunication. I think what happened is Williams thought that Lucas was going to take it in, and instead she just fired it way too high. Sometimes she gets to be so energetic, it's almost like she's on steroids, and you got traveling called at the opposite end, so Union will take it back over. Sometimes Lucas has a tendency to get that steroid-type energy and just flies it by on the pass pattern. That was the 5th turnover for Union, the 7th turnover now for Savannah State. And I tell you, this Thompson is very deceptive, and her speed takes it all the way down too high. Baker thought about the 3, and she's going to – nope, she picks it back up. I don't know how she does that. Somehow it was a juggling act out there, and they go to Williams. And here you go, Lucas underneath. Nope, but she draws the foul. That may have been the most unorthodox series of plays that you will ever see by any team. It's a 2-shot opportunity for Shanique Lucas. Very few fouls called in this game. 9 all told. And we've played down to nearly the 3-minute mark in 34 minutes. Lucas has it short on the second one. She is rarely ever short. If anything, she usually gets it where it's on the back of the iron and it rims out. Inside. And the shot was overbanked by Lampkin. And once again, it is Williams on the rebound, her 5th. Thompson will slow the tempo with 15 on the shot clock. Union will sometimes lull you to sleep and then get the big one. And in the corner, the 3. Baker got it. That's what I mean. She suddenly sneaked behind the defenders, nobody to challenge her, and Ashton with 10 to give it a 36-23 margin for the Lady Bulldogs. Almost trying for the jumper was Howard, and she changed her mind. And another violation, and that is turnover number 8. So far in the game, Union has picked up 11 points off of Savannah State mistakes. And with a 13-point lead, you can look at that as one of the key stats in the entire game. Thompson again, very deliberate. As we say, Union's big strengths are in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Let me wind that back. 2nd and 3rd. There you go. Right down the left-hand side. Perfect delivery. Lucas now with 12. 3 players in double figures already for the Lady Bulldogs. And Union has had a strong second quarter and not going. It's been a cold last 3.5 minutes for Savannah State. Baker dishes off to Williams, and she can't get it and draws the foul. That's one of those that Ashton tried to be unselfish, probably should have taken it all the way in because she had the lead, but it doesn't matter. Williams goes to the line. Now, she's not the most proficient free throw shooter, 62% on the season, but she's done much better during the month of February in the closing weeks of the regular season. And that's one of the things that troubles her. She'll get the range, but then hits the top of the iron. this to make it a 6-possession game. And she did. Williams with 11. Lucas has 12. Baker 10. And Union going back to the half-court trap. Cauble comes back in for the Lady Bulldogs. Minute and a half to go, and they're trying to throttle them with the trap. Baker is so fast on her feet on defense, but this Savannah State team is so lightning quick as well. Trying to check it back outside is Goolsby. And they're going to take down the left-hand side of the lane and traveling. That was nothing but defense by Shanique Lucas that forced that extra step. So Union has really turned on the steam here with a 19-10 margin here in the second quarter. They're going to the side to Cauble, and she works it inside. Williams has it snatched right away. That's something that is very rare and great anticipation, but Baker steals it right back. Union trying to settle it down now with less than a minute remaining in the first half. They would love to have an 18 to 20 point lead going to the locker room. And foul is going to be charged. Baker, I believe that's going to be the 15th foul. If it is, Baker will have 2 shots. Cauble checks back out, and Emily Dunnigan returns for Union. And indeed it is. And so this young lady is a precise free throw shooter, 79% on the season. She has a great form on the line and makes it a 40 to 23 game. And in the first half, she has 11. And give her 12. It is an 18-point lead for Union, its largest. Savannah State, the argument is, would you go down and try to play for the last shot? But down 18, probably the better strategy is to play for a good look as fast as you can. And it's stolen. So Union will have an opportunity at the last one. And they go down quickly to set it up. Thompson is going to call the play. And let's see how they do it. They got to hurry down to 7. And it's Baker. She's going to have to let it go. Puts it up and in. That is the textbook way to work it down to the final second. And Baker gets a standing O, as do the rest of the Lady Bulldogs, who are up 43 to 23 at halftime. Ashton Baker with a 14-point performance to lead the entire game. Jalencia Williams with 11 and Shanique Lucas with 12. And Union has been, as they say, on fire. 63% from the floor, and they have not had to rely on the three-point shot in this game. Out-rebounding Savannah State 16 to 10. They've held the Tigers to 30% shooting. Their leading scorer is Austin with 9 and 6 for Goolsby. But Union leads it by 20 at halftime, 43 to 23, a dominant second quarter for the Lady Bulldogs, with the winner of this one going on to take the winner of Florida Southern versus Eckerd, which will be our nightcap at 7:30 here this evening at Fred DeLay Gymnasium in Jackson, Tennessee. So it has been an action-filled, offensively strong first half, at least for Union, and Savannah State had a strong first quarter, just simply did not have an answer in the second quarter for the Lady Bulldogs. We'll be back for that all-important third quarter, because that's the one that Savannah State has got to make its move on, and we'll have that for you. We're going to break away, let you go to the refrigerator. I know my friend Alexander Bitterling is going to do that for sure, and when we come back in about 10 and a half minutes, we'll have all of the halftime stats. Stay with us. Back we are at Fred DeLay Gymnasium, and here are your halftime statistics of this quarterfinal game in the NCAA Division II Women's South Regionals. Union, a hot first half, 17 of 27 for 63%. Savannah State has been held to 8 out of 27 for 30%. Three-pointers, Savannah State, 4 out of 9 for 44. Union, which is a supreme shooting three-point team, has not had to rely on that, 2 out of 6 for 33%. In free throws, Savannah State is perfect, 3 for 3, but Union has gone 10 times and hit 7 for 70%. Lady Bulldogs with an edge in rebounding, 16 to 10. And the Tigers have committed more turnovers, 11 to 6. But look at this, Union with a 20-point lead, picking up 17 points off of Tiger mistakes in the first half. Savannah State only 5 off of Union errors. The key thing about that 17-point margin is that Union averages 16 per game for the season in points off turnovers. They've already eclipsed that in the first half, so the defense is just working marvelously for them tonight. And the key thing that Savannah State is going to have to try to do, and it's been very hard to do it, they're going to have to try to challenge Jalencia Williams a bit more. It's a gamble, it's a risk, because she is so difficult to go against on defense, but they're going to have to try to challenge her because they have not been able to develop anything in the paint. Points in the paint tonight, Union 28 to 6 margin. So that's one of your key problems that Savannah State is going to have to try to unlock. And it's less than a minute, and they are just now coming back onto the floor, so they're going to have very, very little warm-up time. And Union came back on the floor. If you were just watching our picture, Union came back on the floor with about 9 minutes to go before we start the third quarter, and pretty much wrapped up its. And before I continue that thought, Mike Mann and his band in the stands as they give you the Land of 1,000 Dances. And those people want to tell their grandchildren one day, I was on television at the Mid-South Regionals. Union leading at 43 to 23. And they will have Savannah State with first possession here as we start the second half. A key thing also in this third quarter, they need to make a move early. And that one was just completely destroyed by Williams. And all the way down, and the layup does not fall. Sometimes Lucas has a difficulty getting her arm extended high enough from the corner. That three is there. Now, that's the big thing they need. Leandra Gillis with a three to cut it to 17. They need to run off and here's a steal. There you go. Lucas is going to try to track her down, but does not, and the layup is there. Gillis single-handedly has cut it now to 15 from 20. And Mark Campbell is somewhat shaking his head below because that is not the way he wanted to see the first minute of the second half start. So they go to Williams, who works one-on-one against two defenders and nails it. 13 for Williams. They try to lob it and go for and that one was just simply not there. It looked like that Gibbs was trying to bank it, but it was completely off the mark. There you go. Bread and butter. Turnaround layup is good. That's one of the key plays that they try to work so well. If they see the defenders going to one side of the court, and one of the best things that Bethany Dillard can do in addition to shooting threes is to cross from her left to her right. And she makes it a three-point play. At one time in early February, she was 94% on free throw shooting. Back to the 20-point lead, and that is tough on a team like Savannah State that looked as though it was making a climb, and then you give up 5 points right in a row. Big three. No. Air ball tipped away, and they're going to give it to Savannah State. Said it was just off of the edge of the fingertips of Williams. An amazing 32-8 edge in points in the paint for the Lady Bulldogs. Going for the three off the screen. Nope, it's off the iron, and Williams with yet another rebound, her 7th. And the Flash trying to take it. And she's going to, that's the way she does it. All the way home, she saw the lane. Nobody was challenging down the right-hand side, and she is so lightning fast. 16 points for the Flash. It's a 50-28 game. And they're going to try to work against Williams, but she's very, very tentative in doing so. Big long three is way off to the right. Williams, her 8th rebound. She's headed for another double-double. Lucas had it tipped away. Tigers are going to try to get down the floor quickly, and oh my goodness. Let me tell you, Lucas, it looked as though she had just tossed the ball away and so fast getting back down the floor and almost came up with a steal. And trying to take it down the lane, and nicely done over Dillard. Austin, the first in double figures for Savannah State with 11. Union back in its pattern offense. Ten on the shot clock for the Lady Bulldogs. Baker stops and pops and is fouled. She has an instinctive measure of knowing when the defenders are about to crash in on her. And this looks like her career high as a single game was 27 earlier this season. And she nails that one to put Union up 21. It was 43-23 at halftime. Got them both. Ashton 4 for 4 from the line. 18 points to lead the game. There are some nights you can just tell when she has her A game on, and this is one of them. Almost stolen by Lucas. Backdoor. Nicely navigated by Lampkin. That's her first basket of the game. They need some more help off of the wing players on this Savannah State team. Williams way up front. I assure you she's not going to shoot a three. There you go. Waited for Dillard to get behind the defenders wide open. Dillard with 5, all of them in this half. And again, that's Williams just bothering everybody. She's got 9 rebounds. Baker stops and pops and hits. Union shooting 67% from the floor. And Baker has 20. And we've still got more than half of the third quarter remaining. They're double teaming on the inside and knocked off of Lucas's fingertips. And Union is going to sub Cauble, Robinson, and Thompson, and they will give Beard and Williams and Baker a rest. Baker and Williams with those big smiles as they come off. And yes, we will see more of them. Believe me, Mark Campbell is not waving the white flag that the game is over right now at all. Keely Robinson was having a big battle with Lampkin. As we say, Thompson, who had 6 in the first half, she gives them plenty of offensive firepower off the bench. Down to 10 on the shot clock. There you go. Goodbye, goodbye. They could have almost done that one blindfolded. 58-32. Union is just dominating this one. And almost stolen, and they finally recover it. It's going to be a scrum, and Union gets it. Turnover number 12 for Savannah State. Wide open for the three. No, just off to the right. Union 2 of 7 in threes, but they haven't needed that kind of offense tonight. Dillard trying to guard the baseline and does it well. Jumper for the three is not there. And let's see what the call is going to be and who it's on. The foul is charged to Lucas. That is her second. Union has only committed 6 personal fouls in the entire game, and Savannah State only 9. I think that's one of the reasons that we have had 64 minutes of game action here. Because this one, and we've got timeout. A media timeout, and Union all over it tonight over Savannah State, 58-32. We'll be back with more. You're watching the NCAA Women's Division II South Regionals.
Be in 5 years. By 2025, 2/3 of all jobs in the U.S. will require education beyond high school. A degree from Savannah State University will provide a springboard to your future. Apply today and get the education you need to compete.
Savannah State College, and it's a wonderful campus there. It's one of the historic HBCUs across the country, and unquestionably very, very proud of their Tigers. Even though they're down 26 tonight, they have been a huge, huge team this season. Coming in here tonight, 27-2. They were 14-1 in the SIAC this year. It's just tough when you come into hostile territory and you're playing against what is ranked currently the nation's #1 team, to have to be able to do the proficiency that's necessary to knock them off, and particularly a team that you haven't played during the season. But you can tell in Coach Baker's expression and the expressions on the team members, they're still energetic, and they're determined to come out here, and in the final 14 minutes and 18 seconds of this game, they're going to make a game of it. Austin, who leads the Tigers with 11, will toss it in. And again, they're working the perimeter because they've had very little success in the paint tonight, and that one's short. And Thompson comes down with the board. Thompson on the left wing, and she's going to beat everybody and overshoots it. That was one of those that she released it a little bit too late after the head fake. But Union 64% from the floor tonight. And that's going to be on Cauble on the drive, and so that will give Savannah State an opportunity to go to the free throw line. They've been there 3 times and have hit them all. So at the line, it's going to be Gillis. Give her a chance to get into double figures tonight, and got the first one. On the season, Gillis is an 85% free throw shooter. And of all things, misses the second of the 2. And staying back and giving a little pressure is Hurd. And underneath it goes, and it is Robinson that'll go to the line for 2. That one is charged to Gibbs. That will be her first. Nobody in the game is in any kind of foul trouble. You got 4 people in the 2 teams that have 2. I don't think that's going to be a factor in this one. And Robinson, it goes off the mark. She is a 58% free throw shooter, so this is not her strong suit. But gave you 1 out of 2. And checking into the game now is Bailey Augustine. She's been another of the outstanding freshmen that have joined this Union team this year, and they have a lot of high hopes for her. And tipped away, and it's going to be a foul on the backside. It's only the third team foul on Union in the quarter. And that one is charged to Robinson. That is her second. It was an attempt. It was a little bit of a collision, just attempting to get the ball away. And Cowboy Curling goes back to get that floor clean there in the paint. He may be the most efficient that we have in the entire Gulf South Conference, maybe even the NCAA. I still say that he could be the coach of a curling team. All right, they're going to go back outside with Hurd. And she just did not lob it well into Austin, and Union comes up with the 13th turnover. That low center of gravity kept Thompson from losing the ball in that situation. They have 16 on the shot clock. Cobble's open for a long three. No, iron was unkind. And it's Gillis the rebound. Actually, it's Allen who's in the game. Knocked away, and Union with Thompson will bring it the other way. Oh, that was one of those that Samaria was just a little bit out of control with it and tried to dish it outside to Augustine, and Caldwell comes out after taking that little jab to the cheek. She's okay. Just, they want to look and see if it's bleeding in any way, but it's not. She'll probably be back in there before this is over with. A 26-point Union lead, and on the drive, the foul. That one is charged to Augustine. Shiley Morrison has also checked in for Union. And some of these younger players that Mark Campbell wanted to give some action to this evening. And you're never sure if you're going to be able to have the opportunity to do that when you get this deep into the postseason. But Mark strongly believes if he can get them in there and get them some experience, it's huge. And on the drive, the block and the foul. Now, is it Robinson or – no, it's going to be Thompson is charged. So Thompson commits her first, and that will – and Cowboy gets it back off again. Ayers goes to the free throw line. Jordan Ayers is a 5'10 sophomore from Owing Mills, Maryland. And in and out. And Coach Baker is employing some of his bench players here that haven't seen action. Mark Campbell so far tonight has played 10, and Coach Baker has gone 9 for Savannah State. Well, that gets us off 59-33, which we were on for a couple of minutes. They were trying a press, and Union is going to beat that one big time. Nicely done, knocking it away, almost going back out in the concession stands was Hurd. She timed her move perfectly because there was a wide open three-point shot had she not done so. Lady Bulldogs 23 on the shot clock. Robinson, who's a good ball handler for a post player. Thompson's going to take it to the paint. And then it's Dunnigan. Yes! Dunnigan with her first three from outside tonight. And Union with its largest lead of 28. Almost a steal. Thompson almost had it. Savannah State will play it. Austin to toss it in for the Tigers. Big three, 25 feet, not there. Rebound to Robinson. And she's going to have some help. And they say it was off Thompson. So Union turnover number 10. Savannah State has committed 13. Union has picked up off turnovers in the game tonight. 17 points. And the interesting thing is it was a 20-point lead, and Savannah State got the first 5 points of the third quarter. And then here came the Lady Bulldogs and began to calm down. And here's a steal. This one may go all the way, and on the backside, it's not there. And Augustine did not get it and committed the foul on the backside. That was a rough possession for Bailey Augustine. So a chance for a 3-point play. Austin with 13 in the game, and give her 14. And they're going to the press again. They want to do everything they can to try to rattle some of these younger players with Union, but Thompson is not going to be rattled. From the corner, Dunnigan. Yes! Let her get hot, and she will burn you. She turns into Disco Inferno when she gets a rhythm. And on the drive, they charge it to Augustine. And she has been the victim of some really, shall we say, ticky-tacky fouls here in the third quarter. And that is her third. So at the line for 2 is Hurd. Union committing its 5th team foul of the quarter. And it's off the mark. Savannah State 6 out of 9 for 67%. And misses them both. Tipped away, give it to Union. Oddly enough, with Union in this large lead, the crowd has somewhat quieted at Fred DeLay Gymnasium. And Augustine needed help and finally got it from Morrison. Mark Campbell believes that every minute that he can give these younger players an opportunity to get in this kind of tournament action, it only bodes well for the future in regular season games. And Robinson takes it all the way, can't get the curl on the layup. And this is a 2-on-nobody, and they lost it. But they picked it back up, and the layup is there for Gillis. She's in double figures with 11. Yeah, they had to have help again with this press. But Thompson is such a good ball handler, and she senses when defenders are coming behind her. Union will have a chance to go for the final shot of the quarter. And not that way. And it's going to go back to Union. I think there might have been a major riot over in the student section had it been called the other way. And checking back in for Savannah State, it is Howard and Goolsby. 10 seconds for Union to maneuver a shot to wind up the third quarter. And just Augustine has just had a rough quarter. The bank is not there, and nobody's going to get a shot off unless Thompson's going to take it all the way between everybody, and it goes down on the bottom of the iron. But she gave it the best shot that she had and was fouled. So Thompson, again, she has an instinctive sense when defenders are clawing behind her, and with 0.8 of a second left, she'll have a chance at it. Thompson, again, is 76% from the free throw line. She averages 7 a game, and this will give her a chance to match her average. And she does. Nailed them both. She has 8. Union leads it 67-39, and that's your third quarter. So the Lady Bulldogs in that one outscored Savannah State 24-16 to extend it to a 28-point lead, and they are on top 67-39 as we take this break before the fourth quarter, and you're watching the NCAA Division II Women's South Regionals.
Looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
And the sounds of YMCA strike up at David Blackstock Court. Mike Mann and his band in the stands. Mike on the keyboard, and they are having this place rocking tonight. Almost a certainty now. Union will be in the semifinal game tomorrow night at 7:30 against either Florida Southern or Eckerd, and I can trust you that any one of those, either one of those, will give them a supreme challenge and very capable of knocking off the Lady Bulldogs on their home court. Baker is back in to run the point for Union. Beard is going back in. And Union will play it to start the fourth quarter. And let's see if Augustine settles down from just some of the rough situations that she had there when she came into the game in the third quarter. You can see Baker trying to settle her down right before the quarter started. And it is Dunnigan, and it's just off. She was rushing down to get that rebound after that one because she wasn't sure if it was going to drop or fall. Look at that double team that's going in. They go to the inside, and the foul. That is probably going to be on Robinson, and that is her third. She and Augustine with 3 each, and at the line for 2 will be Lampkin. The one thing, again, as we talked about earlier, is that Savannah State just provided no challenge to Jalencia Williams on the inside tonight, and that one goes off the mark. Robinson doesn't have quite the physical skills as Williams, and so they'll go after her a little bit more, but they just had nothing in the tank for Williams tonight. 67-40 game. And they're going to the press once again. And Shiley Morrison gets it across. Union with an unprecedented for this team. They've been in Division II for 10 years. And the first time they've ever gone undefeated in the conference race, and overshooting it, just releasing it a little bit too quickly, was Baker. She's 7-11 from the 4 tonight. Getting set to check back in is Leah Cauble for Union. And the foul. It may be called on Baker. Cauble checks in, and Dunnigan comes out. You've had 7 different Lady Bulldogs that have scored in the game. Augustine is charged with her 4th foul, but comes away with the steal and draws the foul. So after so few fouls being called in the first half, it's completely gone in a different direction. The Union will toss it in, and getting set to check back in is Gibbs for the Tigers. And also they're going to get one more in. Gillis will be back. Key thing for Union is try to get the ball in the hands of Baker. And instead it's Augustine. Baker is just such an immensely talented floor leader. I cannot begin to tell you. And they go from the corner for the 3. Yes, indeed. That's Shiley Morrison for a 3. And Union by 30. Mark Campbell has had this team clicking on all cylinders tonight. He'll tell you it's not perfect, but it's about as good as it gets when you get to national tournament time. And timeout is called by Coach Baker. 8:05 remaining, 70-40, so we'll keep it right here. So far in the game, Union shooting 61%, 42% from behind the arc, 77% from the free throw line. Those are top figures for them for the season. Out-rebounding Savannah State 29-20. And they have compiled off turnovers 20 points tonight to 13 for Savannah State. And you see some of the happy folks who are here this evening. Some of these folks are personal friends of mine. There's Gary Grisham and his wife. And a lot of the good folks from Savannah State who made it here tonight. Now, I again want to say hello to all of the parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, and all of the other family members of these players from both teams tonight, because not everybody can make it in here to Jackson for this outstanding South Regional. But the key thing about it is that we can bring it to you on streaming, and we are delighted to do that. And I know you're proud of your young ladies regardless of what the outcome is, because they're all terrific. And for you moms and dads out there, they're your young'uns. And I know that means a lot to you more than anything else. All right, we got about 8:05 to go, and let's see how Mark's going to play it down the stretch. Morrison is a very fast player and goes all the way down and takes it and draws the foul. Morrison was almost stunned. I don't think she expected that one to go in, and I think also she wasn't expecting that much of a lane to be wide open. She goes at this rate, Shiley Morrison may have a career high here in the quarterfinal matchup. Short. And the rebound came off to Lampkin. And again, the thing I'm impressed about, they're down by 32, but this Savannah State team is still following its discipline. Wide open for a three and connecting for Austin, who has 17 points. And Union's defenders just completely left her by herself. And into the game now and drawing another foul. They are really trying to capitalize on that right-hand side is Sally Howell. She is a local girl from here in Jackson, Tennessee, went to Trinity Christian Academy, and she'll have an opportunity to put herself on the board. Sally is great at dribble penetration, and she will have no fear against defenders. And connected. She's on the board. So that is the 9th Lady Bulldog to score in the game. 7 of the Tigers have connected. And Sally gets both of them to give Union back to a 31-point lead. And we have only been playing 86 minutes into this game, so it has been rapidly played. It would have been much faster, except we had more fouls called in the third quarter. Long three is off to the right. Backside is there, and the foul. And the foul is charged to Leah Cauble. Anna McCready is in the game now. She's another post player of the future. And it rims off. Robinson the rebound. Most of the primary Union players are going to probably ride the bench for the rest of this one because they put Union out to such a large lead in the third quarter. McCready, again, they look for a lot from her, and driving all the way down and overshooting the layup was Robinson. And the stop and pop, and that's a 2. Goolsby has 8 in the game, and I'm impressed with her tenaciousness, because it could be real easy for this team to fold up right now, but they are continuing to play their game. And it doesn't matter if this is going to be the one that ends your season. That's what they really expect to do, and Robinson went right into traffic and lost it. And going for the three. Off the back of the iron, tipped out, and give it to Union. Austin had the range on it, but it just wouldn't drop. And checking in for Union now, and that's getting a big hand from the folks here at Fred DeLay. Claire Maxson, the 5'9" sophomore from just down the road in Henderson, Tennessee, only about 20 minutes away. Kylie's going to have to find somebody soon, as we are approaching the 6-minute mark. And Morrison trying to set up the tempo on this one. Robinson going to try the spin move and draws the foul. It may be quieter, but there's a lot of appreciation for these younger players having an opportunity to get in the game and get serious playing time here. Robinson will be at the line. She is 1 for 2 tonight, and give her 2 for 3. Union by 28. They've led by as many as 32, and she got the drop. And checking back in, actually coming in for the first time tonight, is Diamond McGilberry. She is a freshman from Columbus, Georgia, which is my hometown. I was in television. I grew up there, and I was in television news for 6 years in Columbus, and one of my favorite places on the face of the earth. The jumper is off the mark, too far left by Hurd. And Howell does a great job of completely fooling the defenders, and a foul called before that three-point shot. And an offensive foul is charged to Sally Howell. So it hasn't been as spectacular in this fourth quarter as it was maybe for the first 2.5, but this is what you call giving a lot of these young people who have played practice after practice after practice all the way back to October, and giving them a chance to actually show what they can do. And it means so much to them. It means a lot to their families that they're in there. What a catch by. And Morrison's going to take it down with a floater and connect. Morrison with 7. Back to the 31-point margin for Union. It was 28 at the end of the third quarter. And on the drive, the foul is going to be on Sally Howell. Her second. So we've spent more time at the free throw line. And we're going to take a timeout. Union leads it over Savannah State, 78-47. And you're watching the NCAA Division II Women's South Regionals.
NCAA Division II community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Lady Bulldog cheerleaders, and this team of young ladies, they work incessantly to get dance routines and to get this crowd pepped up, and they were here yesterday afternoon for a pep rally for the Union men headed out for their regional that is today. And as we return with 4:40 remaining, We've spent a lot of time at the free throw line here, and we only had 9 fouls called in the game at halftime, and it's now 23. At the line is Austin, 17 points to lead this Tiger team tonight. And this has been a rough second half from the free throw line. Savannah State has dropped back to 50% from the stripe and gets the second one. And they'll stay in the press. And that's something this Union team is going to see, and these young people might as well get an opportunity to see how they're going to fight it. And on the drive, it's McCready. Marson will slow it back down. Union with 15 on the shot clock. And the kickoff to McCready, and no call. Or was it? Was it a late call? Now, the officials are going to have a discussion about it, but it seemed to be a late call on that one, and the question is, was it in the act of shooting? What was it? Well, apparently not, but Union's going to play it underneath. Only 4 team fouls, and they said she was not in the act of shooting. McCready sets that screen for Morrison. And she jumps it through off the back of the iron. Lampkin trying to bring it through herself. Howard. She's got 1 basket in the game so far tonight. And that goes right through the foot. Lampkin, it just went completely off her foot, and it is going to be an alternate possession back to Savannah State. And Cowboys not going to go over there and try to clean the floor, I don't think. They'll work the perimeter again, and it's off the mark. And the key thing here is the Eckerd College team is beginning to come in on the floor, getting ready for the nightcap against Florida Southern. That should be an interesting matchup because those 2 teams have seen each other during the season. And it just hangs up on the lip, but Augustine will have a chance for 2 fouls. So we have spent a ton of time at the free throw line here in the second quarter. That one goes off the mark for Bailey. I think she just got rattled in the third quarter because they really pushed on her. She got the drop on that. The Plinko drop gives Union a 79-48 lead. But it's good to see her get that free throw, if nothing else, because she's in the scoring column, and Union now with 10 players who have scored. Only McCready, Maxson, and Caldwell have not connected. And Leah's out of the game, so probably she won't be back in. I think Mark is going to go with this lineup for the rest of the way. And that one's well short, and the follow is not there. The third one doesn't go through, but the foul is on the backside. And the foul is on McCready. So Anna commits her first. And at the line, it is Lampkin. Tequacia has tonight 3 points and just has had a rough time of it from the free throw line. It has been really, really tough for her. 10 rebounds on the night, though, and that's something that she can put in her ledger. And just was robbed on that one, and let's see what they say. And a foul is going to be called on McCready, I suppose, underneath. So it's going to be a 2-shot foul. I guess they say Anna pushed off trying to get that rebound. So back to the line we are. This is what we call the, shall we say, the chilling hour, because everybody is beginning to chill now, and it gets to the point where you really want to see this one end. It gets to that point. Howard, and give her 5 to make it a 79-50 game. And we got a full timeout coming, and so we'll take one right here. Union dominating 79-50. 3:17 remaining. You're watching the NCAA Division II Women's South Regionals.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Lady Bulldog cheerleaders doing that, well, if you will, that pyramid that sometimes is it gets a little nerve-wracking, but a lot of these young ladies are outstanding gymnasts. And I know their parents are extraordinarily proud of them. Union got out to a 20-13 lead in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter really began to dominate, 23-10. And the halftime score was 43-23, and really blew it open in the third, 67-39. As we told you, Union's real strength is the second and third quarter of each game. That's where they seem to be just dominant against most of their opponents. Mike Mann and his band in the stands, they're dominant against any musician team they come up against. I can guarantee you that in that huddle during the timeout, Mark Campbell was coaching his younger bench players just as hard as he did his other players, his floor leaders. And Bailey's got to get it in there quickly. And it's a scramble. Alternate possession is going to go to Union. In that press, they have to have help to come to the basketball, and this is going to be the same thing again. And let's see what kind of alternating strategy they employ. They're going to go for the bomb, and it was nowhere close. And the jumper is not there. And this time, scrambling for it, Augustine the rebound, and she's fouled from behind, and that'll send her to the line for 2. They were trying for a home run down the floor to Sally Howell, and it was just had no authority on that one. But on the rebound, a chance for 2 more for Bailey Augustine. And ironically, she's playing with 4 fouls. It seems like we've been in the 3-minute block for about the last 15 minutes. I don't know about you, but it sure seems that way to me. And Bailey nailed it. Off the back of the iron. Hurd came down with a rebound. This is not a big transition team, even though they average 81 points a game. Fall away off the end of the glass and the foul. And this one is charged to Claire Maxson. So we have camped out here. If any of you have a Coleman stove, we might be able to set one on. We might be able to put one on each of the free throw lines because it seems as though everybody has been around there for a while. 80-51. And they will face a press if she misses. If she makes this one, they will face a press. In and out. Maxon the rebound, and Lady Bulldogs are going to try to finally set their offense up. Morrison, a good ball handler. And she's going to try to take it all the way down. Reverse layup is there. That gets the place going. 9 for Shiley Morrison. And she has contributed big here in this second half. And you can tell they wanted a traveling call out of that, and instead they had a foul. So once again, we are playing free throw bonanza tonight. At the line is Ayers. Jordan Ayers has 1 point in the game. She's 1 out of 2 from the line. And here's the young lady from Maryland. In and out. 11 of 22 from the line for the Tigers tonight. 29% from the floor. And connects. Gets a friendly bounce. So back to the 30-point margin. And somebody's got to break to the ball, and indeed did Morrison. Now, if Morrison pulls off another one and gets in double figures, that is going to be a huge eruption in this place. She's double-teamed with it, but McCready is there, and she's got some open room. It is Morrison. No, short. But on the backside, there, and the foul, Augustine. I've seen Bailey take some bumps during this season when she's been in action, and she was clobbered. Give an assist on that one to McCready. For a second, Anna was open for one, but they doubled down on her very quickly, and so she immediately saw Augustine. 84-52, Lady Bulldogs will face either Florida Southern or Eckerd tomorrow. Jumper is there. Softly navigated home by Gillis, who has 13. And Augustine in traffic, and they managed to get it away. Just barely getting it across in the 10 seconds is Morrison as we approach the 1 minute mark. Almost stolen. Augustine's going to take it all the way. Left-hand layup is there. Augustine with 6. Now coming away from those cobwebs that she had in the third quarter. And the jumper is not there, and Union yet another rebound. Lady Bulldogs the edge on the boards, 37-29. And trying to slam it home underneath to Augustine again. 11 Lady Bulldogs have scored in this game tonight. And some of the younger players are checking in for Savannah State. We're less than a minute away. This would be, dangerous, and that was just, she simply was desperate to try to get it back in bounds. And a nice reverse layup at the opposite end by Austin. 22 points. She is the game leader. And they finally navigated across midcourt. They're going to have to take one more shot. Morrison is going to work one-on-one and try to work off of McCready's screen. Down to 8 on the shot clock. It is Morrison. Just rims off. And McCready gets the jump ball, and the alternate possession is going to stay down it the other way, but give Anna credit for hanging in there on it. So just under 22 seconds left. And the official calls a timeout for a second. Let's see what the discussion is all about. I always wonder when the game is this much in doubt about why you have this much discussion late in the game. And I candidly do not know. All right, we're going to keep it right here. There is a timeout that has been called, and I'm assuming that this was called by Baker, but I'm not sure what the discussion is all about because the ball had come in bounds. Well, regardless, we're still at 86-56 with 21.6 seconds remaining. Tomorrow you'll be hearing from a number of these winning coaches during their games as we try to bring you some of their choice comments that they have had after their victories. Mark Campbell and a couple of his players will be doing that. I would not be surprised if it's Jalencia Williams and Ashton Baker. They strike up with the Hay song here, which is another of their favorites. Savannah State actually took that timeout now, we can determine, so they could get the ball down at their end of the floor. In the final 2 minutes, you call a timeout and you get it there. And a steal. And trying to take it all the way home, and no call. But Union gets it back up in the foul, and that is going to send Augustine to the free throw line yet again. Bailey has been there time after time in this fourth quarter. I got to tell you, she is probably going to be she's going to be taking a couple of ibuprofen, as many bumps as she has taken in this second half. And Bailey with 7. This is probably the final possession of the game. And they're not going to take another shot. They're just going to hold it out. It's Union. As expected, we'll move on. 87-56 over Savannah State. They will play either Florida Southern or Eckerd tomorrow night at 7:30 here at Fred DeLay Gym. We'll have that game for you live for the Lady Bulldogs, their 24th consecutive victory on the season, as they advance now to 27-2, pardon me. Savannah State ends up at 27-3. Let's look at your totals. Union 31 of 54 for 57%, but for so much of this game, they were at 60% in shooting from the floor. It was just a banner night for them. In that first 2.5 quarters, they were clicking on every cylinder they have. 36% from behind the arc, but they really didn't need the three-pointer in this game. 5 out of 14. They were 69%, 20 of 29 from the free throw line. They out-rebounded Savannah State 38-30. And Union committed 16 turnovers, 19 for Savannah State. Off turnovers, Union 21 points, and the Tigers 15. Let's run down the scoring. 2 players in double figures for the Tigers. It was Austin with 22. She was 9 of 17 from the floor. Gillis with 11, 4 of 12 from the floor. She had a couple of three-pointers. And then also you had 10 rebounds in the game for Lampkin. So they did everything they could. It was just too much against this Union offense that was so powerful in the first 2.5 quarters and got out to that lead that really stuck it at 31 at the end. For Union, it was Ashton Baker. If Ashton had stayed in the game in the second half of the third quarter and in the fourth, Ashton might have had 30. She was just really red hot. 7 of 11 from the floor, and 2 of 2 in three-pointers, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and 7 rebounds for a point guard. How about that? 7 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists. Jalencia Williams, 6 out of 8 from the floor, 13 points, 9 rebounds in the game. Not quite a double-double, but she had 3 assists as well and a blocked shot, her 72nd of the season. And Shanique Lucas, who was red hot in the first half, 14 points, 6 out of 7 from the floor. You look at these totals between Baker, Williams, and Lucas. They were 19 out of 26 from the floor. That was 72%. Unbelievable, that triumvirate tonight. And so Shanique had 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. It was everywhere. But and as we mentioned, 11 Lady Bulldogs scored in the game. Shiley Morrison with 9, a career high for her as a Lady Bulldog. But we are going to give our Player of the Game award to none other than the Flash, and that is Ashton Baker, because her floor leadership was huge in the early going. 20 points, again, 7 of 11 field goals, 2 for 2 3-pointers, 4 for 4 free throws, and 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, you name it, she did it. So that is your Player of the Game tonight in this quarterfinal matchup of the NCAA Division II Women's South Regionals. And that wraps it up. Union the winner, 87-56. So we will be back at about 7:25, about 32 minutes from now, and we'll bring you the nightcap. And that will be Florida Southern against Eckerd in 2 Sunshine State rivals that are going to, you got to believe this is going to be a dandy. Your cameras were operated by Billy Bolin, Andrew Burris, and Eris Hollingsworth. The game was directed by Christopher Reasons, and your ever-present, ever-cool executive producer was Paul Schultze. I'm Steve Beverly for Worthy Road Studios saying come back with us in 30 minutes, and until then, so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.